I did 10 pull-ups every single day for 30 days. Not 10 pull-up sets, not 10 reps when I felt like it. 10 pull-ups every day, including the day I was running a fever, including the day I had a 13-hour workday, including the day I was traveling and had to find a door frame in a hotel hallway because the room had no pull-up bar. And something happened by day 30 that I genuinely did not predict. I'm going to tell you exactly what, week by week, including the result I recorded on the final day that surprised me more than the strength numbers. But first, why a daily practice? Why not 3 sessions per week like a normal training program? Here's the problem with the gap. You train upper body on Monday. You do your pull-ups, your rows, your pressing work. On Tuesday, your muscles are recovering. On Wednesday, they're feeling better. On Thursday, you train again. That 3 to 4 day gap is not neutral. In the 72 to 96 hours between sessions, the neural signal you sent your body on Monday partially fades. Your central nervous system partially forgets the movement pattern. The muscles that had begun adapting partially downregulate. You come back Thursday not from exactly where you finished on Monday, but from slightly below it. This is the reason most men's pull-up numbers improve so slowly. Not the quality of the training, the gap between sessions that erases a portion of the gain before the next session can build on it. A daily practice closes that gap permanently. In the 1970s and 80s, Soviet sports scientists studying how their national athletes maintained elite physical capacity between competitions developed a training concept they called greasing the groove. The principle, performing a movement at sub-maximal effort every single day, never to failure, never leaving the session exhausted, produces faster and more consistent strength gains than infrequent heavy sessions separated by recovery days. The reason is neurological. You are not trying to damage muscle and wait for it to rebuild stronger. You are practicing the motor pathway until the movement becomes so automatic and efficient that it costs your body almost nothing to execute perfectly. The body gets better at what it practices, and it practices most effectively when the practice is daily and never traumatic. 10 pull-ups per day, sub-maximal, non-exhausting, never to failure. That was the entire protocol. Here's what 30 days of that produced. Week 1. The first 7 days were underwhelming in exactly the right way. 10 pull-ups is not a large number. On day 1, I could do 13 or 14 consecutive reps in a fresh set. So I spread the 10 daily reps however I needed, usually 2 sets of 5, sometimes 3 sets of 3 with a final rep, occasionally 10 individual reps with 15-second rests between each one. The rule was simple and absolute. Finish the daily session feeling like I could do 5 more reps. If I felt fatigued, I had done too many. Something specific happened by day 4 that I noticed immediately. My morning pull-ups were smoother than day 1. Not stronger, smoother. The lat engagement, the feeling of my back driving the movement rather than my arms grinding through it, was beginning to happen more automatically. The groove was getting greased. Week 2. By day 10, the neurological shift was unmistakable. Before this experiment, I had to actively cue myself to pull with my elbows on every rep in order to feel my lats engaging correctly. By day 10, the engagement was happening without any internal verbal instruction. My back simply knew what to do the moment my hands wrapped around the bar. My grip had also changed without any deliberate grip training. 10 consecutive days of sustained contact with the bar under load had built a stability in my grip that felt qualitatively different from before, more anchored, more automatic, less conscious effort required to maintain it through the top of each rep, where grip tends to fail first. My scapular control, the ability to keep my shoulder blades pulled down and back throughout the movement, had also improved significantly. On day 1, this was something I had to think about. By day 10, it was happening before I was even thinking about pulling. Week 3, day 18 was the day I was sick. Not bedridden, but genuinely unwell. The kind of sick where nothing feels cooperative and your motivation to do anything physical is at 0. This was the closest the experiment came to ending. I did 10 pull-ups anyway, 2 reps, rest, 2 reps, rest. 5 separate fragments to reach the daily minimum. They felt terrible. My body was unhappy about every one of them. I did not care. The chain was not breaking on day 18. The more interesting observation from week 3 came from an external source. My wife mentioned on day 20, completely unprompted, that I was standing differently. I hadn't told her about the experiment. Nothing about my daily routine had changed except the 10 pull-ups. 20 days of pulling my shoulder blades down and back every morning before anything else had started to reset where my shoulders naturally rested when I wasn't consciously thinking about them. No posture program, no corrective exercise routine, no mobility work added. Just a single pulling movement done daily for 20 days. Quick question, have you ever done a daily practice like this? Not a program, just one movement every single day without exception for a sustained period. Drop yes or no in the comments. I read every single one. Week 4 and the results I didn't predict. By day 25, I tested my maximum consecutive pull-ups for the first time since day 1. I reached 15 reps. My starting maximum had been 12. A 3-rep improvement with no additional training volume, no progressive overload, no supplemental exercises of any kind, just 10 reps per day for 25 days. That improvement came entirely from neurological efficiency, not from additional muscle tissue. I was not visibly bigger. I was categorically better at the movement. And then day 30, I took a full 24-hour rest before the final test to remove any accumulated fatigue from the daily practice. I tested my maximum consecutive pull-ups with fresh arms and a fully recovered nervous system, 17 consecutive reps. 5 more than my starting maximum, a 42% increase in a single performance metric from one movement performed once a day, never to failure, for 30 days. The shoulder mobility measurement I had recorded on day 1 also showed significant improvement on day 30. The daily dead hang at the bottom of every rep, the brief time spent hanging at full shoulder extension before each pull, had produced measurable mobility gains that I had never trained directly. The movement improved the positions around the movement without any additional work. The experiment is complete and the method is available to you right now. Pick one upper body movement you want to improve. Pull-ups, push-ups, a dead hang, a row. Establish a daily minimum at 70% of your current capacity. Not your maximum, your comfortable, repeatable capacity. Do it every single day for 30 days, never to failure. Always with enough left in reserve that you could repeat the session 2 hours later if you absolutely had to. The gap between sessions is where progress goes to disappear. Close the gap. Practice the groove daily. The improvement over 30 days will be more significant than anything you've achieved in the last 3 months of conventional training. Which movement are you starting tomorrow? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. If you want more training experiments that actually produce measurable results, hit subscribe and turn on notifications.